Hello, how are you? Hope you're good. How to reinvent yourself. We've gone through half the year, right? We're now in the second half of the year.
And we're nearing the beginning of the new year.
And you should be, if you're not already, probably thinking about, 1, have I achieved some things that I set out to achieve? 2, am I happy with where I am in my life? 3, what am I still trying to get done before the end of the year?
Yeah.
Right?
Round about this time,
Yeah.
you're thinking, oh my goodness, the year has gone by so quickly.
Yes.
And it's starting to creep up on you, the new year, 2023. And you're thinking, all these goals that I had, have I done all of them?
So I'm going to take you through points that you can be thinking about. So point number 1, start with self-understanding and self-awareness. How would you describe self-understanding and self-awareness?
Understanding who you are and what this season of your life is.
I would describe it as being totally honest with where you are in life. Totally honest with who you are, as Shiri said, and just being super transparent with where you are. Right, so you just need to have that, conversation of self-understanding and self-awareness with yourself. Understanding this is where I'm at. I'm happy, I'm not happy. I've not controlled everything I can control, or I've controlled everything I can control, and just this is what the situation is. That is where you probably want to start before you do anything else.
And also understanding why, evaluating everything that happened to get you to this point where you are right now. Why do you want to reinvent yourself? Why do you want to go into a new season of your life, or a new trajectory for your life, a new direction? What is the reason? Because that will help you to identify if you really need to reinvent yourself completely, or if there's just a couple of things that you need to tweak about your personality, your personal brand, where you are in life. So,
second thing, ask yourself what you want to change. Depending on what your goal is, you need to do certain things to facilitate that goal, right? So whether you want to change your personal brand, whether you want to change the situation with your health, your diet, you want your feeling of certain relationships in your life to change. For example, you want to have a better relationship with your partner, with your parents, etc. Or you just want to be someone that, go from a really poor mentality to someone with a really, high performance mentality, right? That is something I've gone through recently in terms of my reinvention, where I felt like I was a little bit more than average, but I really wanted to hit high performance. So what did I start to do? I started to do things like buying books that related to high performance reading. I started to take my mental fitness a bit more seriously. So exercising a lot more often than I used to get to that reinvention. I wanted to be fitter physically, mentally, even spiritually. I wanted to be in a good place. Really wanted to understand what the best people were doing, do something similar to what they were doing. So that was how I started reinventing myself. But you need to really ask yourself what you want to change, whether that be your character, your personality,
or just your environment.
Yeah. Oh, this is a big one. Even your friends, like.
Oh, you're going there?
I am going there.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay.
Sorry. Over the years, personal branding has become increasingly critical and relevant to securing the top jobs, building standout businesses, and becoming the top earner.
And if you are interested in any of the above and you're invested in building an impactful personal brand, you're in the right place.
And if we add value, like the video, comment with your thoughts, and share with your friends and family. It lets YouTube know that this is a great video and it's free.
So let's elevate together.
You have to change your friends. I am so sorry. Listen, guys,
if that's making you unhappy, don't just change your friends. There's no. If you just just clutching.
If you feel like your friends are just not helping you to grow, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's a season of honesty. If you feel like your friends are not helping you to progress, if they're not helping you to grow, if they're not elevating you, cut them off, man. Listen, life is too short. Life is too short, innit?
When I was saying environment, I meant maybe moving countries, maybe moving to a different city.
I'm a bit extreme. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit.
Yes.
I think you just need to reevaluate how much you want to give in those friendships, or how much you want those friendships to take from you.
Or what friendship means to you in this season of your life. Maybe you're in a committed relationship. Friendships outside of that relationship might not feel the same, or you might not have the same needs as when you were single. Or you might be newly single, coming out of a relationship. Friendships might mean the world to you right now. So I just feel like you need to know what kind of friendships you need and what kind of friend you're ready to be or ready to become. And that's the way that you're going to evaluate whether those friends are existing. You need to cut them off.
On this topic of friends, I feel like there's so many people probably watching this video and they're still like holding themselves to the same standard they did when they were like 18, 19, 20. Like they're still trying to give as much as they give. They're not moving with their life. Something like you're married, you're dating, or you have a much more stressful job. Your life is busy and you're still trying to be as present as you were in the life of certain friends. It's just what happened.
Expecting that from others.
Also, I've seen this a lot.
Yeah.
Sharice, you had this.
Oh.
Problem.
I can talk. Hey, I can talk.
And you just need to be honest. honest. It really needs to be honest.
Yeah.
I really like. I'm banging on about this honesty
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, you need to be sincere. Don't crucify yourself, please.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm telling Michael all the time, don't crucify yourself. Don't do
Told me
that.
this morning. And I said that's why I am where I am today.
Back to yourself. I am terrible. I'm a loser.
Yeah.
I'm this. That. Don't do that.
No.
You don't need to really go in on yourself in order to reinvent yourself, but you do need to be honest. And a lot of us, we're not always ready to be honest.
You might be a lazy person, but you never admit to yourself you're a lazy person.
I wouldn't recommend you calling yourself a lazy person. I would recommend you finding out why you think you're lazy. I feel like it's easier.
Call yourself a lazy person after you found yourself why.
When you don't really know what's really going on, because it's just easy. You don't need to dig much deeper. Oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I'm procrastinating. You're not really looking into it, because anybody can call themselves lazy. But why are you lazy? What's under there? Who hurt you? Like, what's going on?
PC Sharice is clearly the nicer one out of me and her. Like, I'm just really brutal. Yeah. You need to be able to define your core values. Your values are the principles you stand by, right? Those are things that define who you are. And the reason that's important is because a lot of the things that you get yourself involved in, a lot of the things that you do every day, actually a lot of decisions that you make every single day stem from your core values. For example, if one of your core values is that you always show up in whatever you do, like you're always going to be present, that means every conversation that you're in, you are dropping everything to pay complete attention to that person, to get the most out of that conversation. If you say, you know what, everything I do, I'm going to give my best, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure this is a success, that is a value of yours. And core values don't have to be like 10 or 15. You're not like asking God what kind of man you want. Like, it's not that kind of list. All right, your core values are like a very select few, like 2 or 3,
beliefs, what you
like
stand on,
the strongest ones.
Yeah,
right.
But Michael's just saying that it's more than just the superficial surface level stuff that that anybody has. Yeah. These are something that you're going to live by, especially for this season of reinvention. You don't want to have so many, because then it's going to be like, how am I going to keep
you
up
kill
with
that? You just, your brain will fry.
You're trying to be a perfect person. It's like, you're going to still have flaws. You're going to still have things to work on. Yeah. But right now, just define a certain amount of things, not too many, that you know this is at the core of me, and what I believe in, and what I want to stand on, what I'm ready to fight for as well, and what I'm ready to be like, if anybody comes to me and you know, quizzes me on these values, I'll be able to hold my own in regards to those values. Correct. That's it. Thanks, mate. Setting realistic goals. This is an interesting one, because it depends on how ambitious you are and how much you're willing to do. Or how much you have capacity to do. And how much you have capacity to do. This point doesn't need to be long. Set goals you know that you can commit to. Be honest about your level of effort, people. Because people set goals that they're not willing to work hard to achieve them. Or they're not really thinking 2 months, 3 months, 5 months down the line. If life happens, as life starts lifing you, can you continue to keep up with the level of intensity that you were given in the beginning? It's all well and good thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to really be on it. I've got all my tools and resources in place to make sure that I stay consistent. But then you're not really thinking that if anything were to shift a little bit in your life, there's no room to, you know, keep it going, and that's not realistic, and you need to think about that. And also, as we were saying before, sometimes we think with the mindset that we had like last year or the year before, not knowing that we're 2 years older, 2 years more mature than that version of you, and you, in your mind, you think you're capable of doing everything under the sun, but you're forgetting you're not 15 no more. And your body can't even physically do all that. Your schedule is not the same, and you would think, oh, maybe I just, you know, take this out, take that out, and it's not as simple as that as it was before. So you really, as we keep saying, be honest about what you can actually do. Not saying that you can't do anything, just be realistic in terms of you're reinventing yourself right now. Building positive habits, probably my favorite one. I love building positive habits because it gives you more confidence and more self-belief, you know, improves your self-esteem. What's a positive habit? For example, reading. Going for a walk every day. Did you read today? Yeah, going for a walk every day. Your diet. Me and Sharice have been talking about diet a lot. So we had a whole big conversation about it yesterday. You might not think, oh, my diet, blah, blah. Okay, listen, if you don't look after your diet, long term, it could really hinder you and really put you in a position where you can't execute anymore on your ambitions, your goals, because you're in hospital or because you're sick all the time.
eating properly, doing the research you need to. Sharice is like on this journey right now.
Yeah. Or just looking into like family history and stuff, because obviously you might be a really fit and healthy person, but you're not taking into account things that your families have gone through, and like that's all genetic stuff that you can't really avoid. But by watching what you eat, watching your level of exercise, actually dealing with what you can control, and you know, it will help you. Stuff won't like come out of the woodworks later on that like really hinders you, and then you find out, oh, it's because it was your cousin twice removed had this mild thing, but now you've got it and it's really like aggressive. Nobody really thinks about health or health issues in that way, or conditions, whatever, until it's actually too late. And you don't want that for yourself, especially when you're trying to reinvent yourself or trying to be a person that's more healthy, or if that's what you want to change, if that's a new habit that you want to make.
Practice self-reflection. Why? Because if you don't practice self-reflection or make it a habit, when will you ever really be able to have a real conversation about where you're at and if you're making progress, what you're not doing well, what you're doing well, what you need to change, what you need to improve, what you need to cut out, what you need to bring into your life? You need to have self-reflection almost every day, almost every week at least. Me and Sharice have a weekly review. So on Sunday, after church, it's actually in my calendar, we have a weekly review. So we talk about the week, all the things that we planned to do the week just gone. Did we execute on them? Did we do them? Did we not do them? Why didn't we do them? What stopped us from doing them? How can we make sure that the next week we're going to set new goals and new things to do? How do we make sure we get them done? How do we make sure we execute? So we have our own weekly self-review. You don't have to be married to do it. You can do it as a single person. Absolutely encourage it, yeah?
Because it forces you to think as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get so caught up in everything that you're doing that you even forget what happened on Monday. It's only Friday and you really don't even remember what happened. When you have a weekly review, it really forces you to think back and think about what happened and why things happened, so that you're not caught off guard later on down the line when you're like, oh, I have this, or I'm not happy with this, or I'm not happy with that. It's because that time that you can't even remember about messed you up. And unfortunately, that's something that you will do subconsciously sometimes, and it will just be a continuing cycle. But if you actually look back and force yourself to remember, then you will actually be able to pinpoint things that you can nip in the bud straight away, and it will be easier for you to continue on this journey of reinventing yourself.
Asking for support. In our previous video, we talked about how we went for therapy. We wanted to reinvent our marriage, like literally scrap it, start all over again. Therapy was a big part in that. Your kind of support might be getting a personal branding coach, or getting a life coach, or getting a business coach, or getting an executive coach. You might ask for support from your partner. You're asking for help, you're asking for support mainly because sometimes you just can't do it on your own. Sometimes you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you just need a different perspective. And that is why asking for support will always help you. Asking for the right support will always help you.
And sometimes you won't know what the right support is straight out the gate. And a lot of people get caught up with, oh, I don't know if I can trust this, I don't know if I can trust that person, I don't know if I can trust this source. You won't know. This is all a learning journey. You won't know until you try, until you do it, until you go through the first bad encounter with the help that you don't need, or the help that's not helpful. So don't be caught up in that as well, like, oh, I need to go to the right one, I need to go to the most expensive this, or try this, or like, no, you're not gonna get it right. Probably, maybe, hopefully you will get it right the first time. More than likely it's not, because we're all human, we make mistakes, we fail and stuff. So don't be caught up in, oh, it has to be the right help straight away. Like, just get help, any help at the beginning. Then you'll start to learn, okay, that is not the right help for me. This is more of the direction of the resources that I need to go into. And it's all about exploring, it's all about that journey. And as long as you're committed to doing it, you will reinvent yourself, and you will be happy finally with who you are and more fulfilled in whatever you are trying to achieve.
You can even get a nutritionist, right? We need a nutritionist.
We do.
We're getting a nutritionist. Guys, we want to live long.
Yeah.
I want to live long. Listen, I'm a Christian, Jesus coming back, but I still want to go to heaven healthy, right?
All this stuff you might think, oh, it's so expensive, and all that, you're going to this person, you're going to that, but invest in yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to reinvent yourself, or maybe that should have been one of the
100% get a life coach.
You need to have a budget for this.
Yes. I'm offering my life coaching services. Holler at me if you need some help. Okay, we've come to the end of our video. I hope you found that useful. I hope you got a ton of value from that. And if you like this video, please subscribe, and we will see you next time.